Hello everyone, I am Cerebellum and this is Academy of the Ancients. Today we're going to be looking at a replay review for Born here, playing the Luna. So Born is a support player. He's actually a pretty decent MMR support player, a little bit above myself, so of course I think he's doing pretty well there. He's around 3k MMR, so this is going to be a bit more high skilled than well, not high skilled, but a bit better than what we're usually seeing here. But anyway, he's a support player looking to transition into a carry role and having a bit of issues with that. So we're going to look at some typical supporty mistakes and see if he does that here. I know I have seen the Dotable profile for this game, so I know I have some feedback on his item build, and I certainly have some feedback on what he's chosen to do here with his starting items. But first of all, I want to go into just the team composition here, and this is something I think I should do a little bit more, just so you understand, or to try and give the newer players, the newer listeners, a little bit more of an idea of what they should be looking to do with their hero in different lineups. So let's first of all just take the Radiant side here and go through the heroes. So we have Mirana as the mid player here, the mid hero. This is a really good initiator, really good well, not a really good initiator, but good initiator, decent initiation with the arrow, good combo potential. You can get some initiations off the arrow, but it is kind of unreliable. She's also pretty good utility. She can give your whole team, invis, which is huge. She's also decent nuker, good escape. So very versatile hero, very good. Can go in several lanes. Like you can run her as a mid, you can run her as a solo off lane. So I mean, she's just good. Very versatile. I think this is a very good hero to play in a pop game, because of how versatile it is. I've talked about that before, that it's very good to have heroes that can do several things in pop games. But enough about that. This is a good hero. Well, not that there's any hero without any other context is always going to be a good hero. So this is Wind Ranger, formerly Windrunner. Good initiator, also a good offlaner. She's got a good escape ability. She's got initiation with Shackle Shot. She can actually push pretty decent with Focus Fire, and she's got a decent nuking power shot. So any kind of stun that you can get that arrow can follow up is always good. So we've got 2 decent initiations already, so liking that so far. Then as the third player we have, and this is also a support. Like you can play her as a solo offlane, as a support. You can also play as a mid if you don't have anything else, but that's mainly what she does, and here she's playing a support, so that's fine. Else you have Nyx Assassin, good initiator, good ganker, and that's pretty much what she does, but he is one of the better initiators at the moment. He's also really good solo offlaner because of his ridiculous native regen. This is a bug, by the way. He hasn't read the tanko. You can see he has all 4 of them still. This is a replay related bug. But he's a really good offlaner because he's got Spike Carapace, and he got I think he has more than 2 regen, just base, so that's a lot of regen just to have. So that's what he brings to the table. Even more initiation, even better stun than the 2 others in my opinion. Potential to hit several targets. Really good for team fights, and also good for ganking. And also good against int heroes like the Skywrath here. He's got the mana burn, which is really good, especially since Skywrath, kind of his stick is he loves to stack up a lot of int. And that's kind of what mana burn is really, really good against. Skywrath and OD in particular, really good against those. Fourth up we have Spirit Breaker, who's also kind of a really awkward hero, to be honest. He tends to do really well in lower level games just because people forget that he can always charge you. And he can charge you across the map, and you have to be aware of that. It's kind of like with Bloodseeker, who's also in the game, and Invoker to an extent. These guys who have these abilities, you just have to keep in mind all the time, is sort of tough on people. He's more of a right clicker and more of an awkward ganker and sort of initiator, I guess. But yeah, it's more kind of lackluster initiation, but it's more initiation, and they have tons of initiation, so I think they've got that going for them here. Tons of initiation. He brings a little bit more damage to the table, a little bit more stun lock to the table. But he honestly doesn't bring super much to the table. It's one of those heroes that are actually, in my opinion, a little bit underpowered here. And his solo ganking potential is sort of nerfed once players get up to a skill level where they know that they just have to land that first stun on him. Like when he charges in, you can just land a stun on him, and then you can just TP out, and he won't be able to do much. So how does Luna fit into this? Well, with the Nyx and the so we have a mid, we have an offlane, we have 2 supports. It's probably going to be a dual offlane here, which I think is fine since you have to lane this Barathum somehow. And that's kind of also the problem with Barathum, is that if you're not running a dual lane offlane, then you have to run him as your hard carry slot, and that just doesn't work. Like, he doesn't perform as a hard carry. He's more of a semi carry. So yeah, so what Luna brings to the table is here, she is a really hard carry. She's also a decent pusher. She's a pretty good combo with Wind Ranger in that she has this damage aura that gives bonus damage to allied heroes. And of course, when you have an ability on Wind Ranger that gives bonus attack speed, tons of bonus attack speed. Like it basically maxes her attack speed for 20 seconds, and you get you get reduced damage, but you get more attack speed. So increasing her damage is super effective when because she can just focus fire down towers even harder. So these two make for a decent pushing combo. Like she's also good with Dragon Knight for the same reason that you can just give him extra damage in his dragon form, and they can push down towers even harder. So what she does is she kind of gives more of a late game plan to this lineup that looks like it's going to be able to control the mid game pretty heavily through these 4 heroes. It's sort of I would say this looks like a sort of classic 4 protect 1 kind of setup. So yeah, I gotta answer something really quick. So that's kind of what her role is. She is a hard carry, most usually. I have seen her played mid a few times with some success, but she is mostly a hard carry. And that's what certainly she's going to be doing here. If we take a look at the other team, what we have is a Bristleback, who's a semi-carry, kind of usually played as an offlaner, solo offlaner. I don't recommend playing him as a safe laner, because he can control the mid game, but he can't do anything late game. And then we have Crystal Maiden, hard support, pretty much has to play that. She can't fit in any other lane, but she's really, really good at playing a hard support. One of my favorite heroes. I've done a few videos on her, so check him out. Skywrath Mage, he's a nuker, he can be played mid. Some like to play him as a support, though he's a little bit iffy there. He does really like to stack up the int, and you have to get a lot of farm for that, so mostly he's played as a mid. He's gonna do fine here, I think, against the Mirana. Bloodseeker. Another slightly awkward ganker slash semi-carry. Sort of like Baratham, I think he's odd because of how you have to lane him. He pretty much only does well as a solo mid. So that's a bit awkward. And here he's a melee offlaner, a melee in an offlane without a stout shield. So he's gonna have a tough time. He should have a tough time, and we're gonna see if they can make him have a tough time here. And running this setup out, we have a Doom. Doom, the closest thing they have to a hard carry here. And I mean the closest thing because he isn't really a hard carry. He can get really scary. He's probably the one on their team that maybe about as much late game potential as a Skywrath. No, a bit more late game potential as Skywrath, but nothing close to the Luna. A farmed Luna, none of this comes even remotely close. So that's kind of how they match up. This team composition a bit worse than the other one. They do have a support, and then they have one core more than they would want. Like if the Skywrath played support, this would be decent, but they have 4 cores. They're gonna be playing really greedy. At least they have like a pretty mid-game core setup, which is slightly better than a more late-game oriented. Like if you have 2 guys that go Midas on a setup like this, then you should be pretty hopeless, because it's just so greedy that you won't have anything really to do in the mid-game, nothing to withstand with. So anyway, I think that's enough about the team compositions. Doom also a pretty good initiator. I just did a video on him, so if you want to know about Doom, you can just see that video. Yeah, but they have a lot worse initiation. Pretty much they have Crystal Maiden that has a lockdown. They have a silence and a slow from Skywrath. They have slow from Bristleback, and they have Rupture from Bloodseeker, and that's it. So their effects kinda a lot worse. So we're gonna see how that works out for them. They do have a lot of tank. Like these 3 heroes, Bristleback, Doom, and Bloodseeker, are pretty tanky. So the burst damage from over here isn't gonna be super good, but they do have like a good amount of right click between Mirana and Luna. Pretty good combo in their own right. Good complementary skills and good right clicks. Usually you build them up, both of them, with like a Amanda style butterflies, stuff like that, and they can start to do some damage. Also a Decimator on Mirana is pretty common. But anyway, we should get moving on and just go through Luna's skills pretty quick. So Luna's skills are sort of, she has 2 nuking skills and 2 skills that augment her attacks. She's a really simple carry to play with regard to using her skills, so it's one of those carries that are really good to start out with. We have the Lucent Beam. That's a pretty much a straight up nuke. It's got good range. We can't see it right now, but once we're on pause, we can see the range. It's got pretty good range. It doesn't have a lot of damage on level 1. You want to save the most of your mana. You want to save for like level for once you hit level 4 and you've got 2 points in this. You should be prioritizing this first, Lunar Blazing first, to get your right click damage up to last hit better. But yeah, Lucent Beam is a pretty good nuke. Certainly once you get a few levels into it, once you hit level 2, level 3, you can start using it generously to try and get kills and stuff. But for the 75 damage at level 1, it's not really worth it. It also has a mini stun, which is to say you can just kind of like with Invoker's Cold Snap, you can kind of make them stutter a little bit in the stepping, make you catch up a little bit, maybe land a right click, and turn off their channeled abilities. Really good ability. Yeah, you put points into this early on because it modifies your ultimate dual eclipse. Moonglaive. It's a bouncing attack. Each bounce does 35% less damage. So yeah, this is really good. You wanna level this. You wanna take some levels in this early on if you're jungling, but most of the time you wanna leave the skill because you don't wanna push the lane, and it also makes it harder to last hit in the lane when there's other stuff dealing damage to the creeps. But it's a really good late game ability, really key when you're trying to push, really key to, just get absurd damage in team fights. Like if you can catch 2 enemies out and you get the glaives bouncing between them, you just stack up damage so much once you have some good right click. Lunar Blessing, we talked about this. This is a damage aura around her, just gives you straight up more damage, both yourself and your allies around you. Your allied heroes, very important distinction. So something like Chen creeps and Necronomicon creeps and stuff like that doesn't get the Lunar Blessing. All Meepos get, of course. That's one of the upsides to Meepo, and he needs all the upsides he can get. It also gives you 1000 night vision, which is pretty huge. One of the good upsides to her. Yeah, and you get that from level 1, so certainly 1 level in it is mandatory, and I would recommend you take it early on, because you are a hard carry. You do want that 14 extra damage to just get an easier time last hitting. Really important, really good. Eclipse. This is a bit of a tricky ability. It turns day into night for 10 seconds if you do it during the day, and then you do a number of Lucent Beams, these things. So it basically triggers off a free amount of Lucent Beams, and then at level 1 you get 4 beams, you get 7 beams at level 2, and level 10 or at level 3 Eclipse you get 10 beams. They strike with 0.6 seconds interval, so if you die and you haven't completed the cycle, you just don't get the last beam. So very important that you don't panic use this. You need to use this in carefully considered situations. It does have a huge cooldown. There's also a max amount of times you can hit the same target. If you get the Scepter, there's no max hits to... oh yeah, there is actually. Yeah, so the max hits is more generous when you get the Scepter. Like if you probably will only have the Scepter at once you hit level 11, which is to say you have level 2 of this, which means to say you can land 8 Lucent Beams on one target, and then the target is probably dead. But you don't get Scepter on her, so that doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's basically a channeled, non-targeted, huge nuke. These Lucent Beams, also it should be mentioned, do not mini stun. So it's just a straight up nuke. That's the way you should think it, that's the way you should use it. As with these non-targeted nukes, like with, say, also with Lysrax's Diabolic Edict, with Clockwork's Battery Assault, and a few other abilities that can hit creeps instead of heroes, you want to make sure you aren't near a creep wave. And they get worse if you have minion heroes on the other side, like, say, an Enigma or a Lycanthrope. Is kind of not good, because the wolves and the demonic conversions can soak up the Eclipse hits, which is not ideal, especially if the wolves is insane mana or magic resist, so you just end up wasting it. So yeah, but you can catch people out with this. This is very good for fighting, especially early on in the game. Later on in the game, it does still do good damage, but of course when you hit those late game scenarios, it's not really what you want to see. So generally, as for skill build, as I mentioned, you want to basically bounce between Lunar Blessing and Lucent Beam early on. I like to put 2 points into Lunar Blessing and 3 points into Lucent Beam by level 5, so that I have a 3-point Lucent Beam for my level 1 Eclipse right away. And from there just maxing Lunar Blessing and Lucent Beam before going into Glaives and taking the ultimate whenever possible. For your starting items, this is decent. This is not horrible, but I think this Ring of Protection could have probably been a slipper of agility instead. Probably he wants to build this into a Ring of Basilisk, which is not very good. If you want to build into a Ring of Basilisk on this girl, you probably want the damage first, so you probably want the Wraith Band first. She is an agility hero, so getting that extra agility will improve your right click super much. So I think that's the better route here. It is very compatible cost. I also think filling up your inventory from the start, I'm not a huge fan of this. These three Iron Branches, they're okay, but you don't really like. One of the reasons why you get Iron Branches is to get that 3 int on heroes that aren't int heroes and really want to cast their abilities. But you don't really want to spam or level 1 Loosened Beam. I mean, 75 magical damage isn't that good, so stacking up these, maybe I mean, even instead of these 4 items, I might even say just building up towards that Wraith Band. I mean, you can get this Circlet and the Slippers of Agility instead. Yeah, you would have enough money for that because this is 75. I think it is, let me just see, where is that? There it is. Yeah, this is 75, so you could get those 2 instead, and I think that would be a lot better. Because you get almost the same stats. You get a little bit less armor, but you get more right click out of it, I think. Because you get 5 agility versus 3 here, so slightly better, and you can just get the recipe for the what's it called, the Wraith Band shipped out. So I think that's a better way to go about it. Though this isn't bad. But yeah, as the hard carry here, you don't really want defensive items as the hard carry in the safe lane. Unless you're melee. If you're melee, you always, if you're gonna be going for the right, for the last hit, you need that stout shield. But she's not melee, and then you never get the stout shield. So that's super easy to remember. Go a bit of animation bug here. I'll just jump a little bit ahead because we are just blocking creeps here, and it's all looking fantastic. So let's see what's going on. Good creep block. Wind Ranger is just running ahead here, which is not super useful. But yeah, she's gonna move back now. That was a very odd movement. We're gonna see here. And they're up against a solo off-lane Bloodseeker without a stout shield again. And that to me just screams kill potential. Leveling up the Loosened Beam first. Big mistake, I think. You can't really use it for anything level 1. You really want the last hit potential. We're gonna see if he misses too many last hits because of this. So far, not a single hit's gone in on this Bloodseeker. Really, this Wind Ranger right here, who looks like doesn't think she's playing support, should really be going up here and trying to contest this. Really should be trying to hit that farm. Or just push him away, like keep him out of XP range. With regard to XP, this guy's actually winning the lane. Like he's sucking as much XP as he can out. He actually got a last hit. Why did you let him get a last hit? That is super odd. Like not this one harass hit so far, and he actually just gave you bonus damage. So nice of him. You should just be hitting him so much right now. He's at full life. That should not be happening in this lane. He should. You could even go for a kill on him if she leveled up her Shackle Shot. You could just kill him. And Skywrath doing a bit of support shaming here, just saying no wards. And yeah, she should have bought wards. Should buy Korean wards as the CM almost always, because she really doesn't need it, and she can farm, or she can farm jungle, so it's not super important. But anyway, 8 last hits is pretty stellar at this point. That is about as good as you can hope for. She is leading it, so that's good. It's just that they're not pushing this guy out of lane very much, and they really should be. Though the Equilibrium is fine, this is about as good as you can get for you. When I say Equilibrium is the creep Equilibrium, you want the creeps about at this point, like slightly closer to the tower might be better, but just outside the tower range means you can't be dived at all, means this guy has to be super far forward to hope to get any farm. And you know, that exposes him to some risk.
Top tower is under attack.
Looks like he's trying to figure out what his Broad Rage does, which is honestly pretty hilarious to me. It's a damage buff spell. Like it's a damage buff spell that also silences, and he's trying to use it as sort of a offensively, which is really bad. Like this, you don't want to. Luna doesn't want to cast Loosened Beam even, so you can just right click him when that's on you, and you'll be doing extra damage. So that would be super good if she did that. What? Is there a bit of a bug? Looks like there's a bit of a bug. So, just to get that displayed correctly, we're just gonna jump 10 seconds back in time. So Luna is running around with very little health right now, which is pretty bad. So did that get corrected? No, it didn't. That's odd. That's super odd.
Killing spree.
Go. Still doing a good job on last hitting. Still really, really nice. Okay, there we go. So she just get 14 damage there from the aura. And he keeps just spending all his mana. That's typical low player stuff. You don't want to spend all your mana. Now, she's just gonna get a solo kill here, isn't he? No, okay. Just barely didn't get a solo kill. Keep an eye on what your other guy in lane is doing. I know it might be taxing to do these last hits, but keep an eye on what they're doing. She's just crushing the lane now, so this is really well done. Like she has more than double, almost tripled the last hits of anyone else in the game. So she is doing super well. The only thing she hasn't done yet is pick up a few items. But the creep waves have been here all non-stop to fight, and you should only pick up your items when there aren't last hits to get. You don't never want to miss last hits, except if you can get killed, or if you want to be safe. That's pretty much the thing. At least early on here, that's the rule of thumb. She could actually pick up a power threats right now, which would be huge. Again, she's prioritizing the Lucent Beam over the Lunar Blessing, which I think is a bit wrong. Though she is going to end up in a sensible level 4 position here.
Denied.
So she's just leveling these in slightly the wrong order. So just to clarify, I wanted you to prioritize Lunar Blessing up to level 2, just to get that really nice right-click damage. But she is doing like 84 right-click damage, so just to compare here, the Bloodseeker, who has a good damage item already, and who is melee and will have a better right-click, therefore, and it's also level 4 actually, it's just the same level, but he's actually at 10 damage less than the ranged Luna now because of this. So that's really strong, really good. Skywrath is 61, that's more common, so a 24 damage less, and you know, this might seem like a small advantage, but in terms of getting last hits, it's super important. So super important as a carry, you get that bit of damage stacked up, make it easier for yourself to last hit early on. Though in these pops, when you're up against dual lanes often and you don't get, to control a lane this much, it can be pretty hard. So has the win rate actually. She hasn't taken her shackle. Okay, now she's got shackle shot. With shackle shot up, you have a stun, you have a means to kill this guy, and I do mean kill. Like you should go for the kill when you get a guy with no business being a solo offlaner in your lane. And you outnumber him, certainly.
Missing bottom.
Like there's almost no heroes that can stand up to these two solo in lane. Or certainly not if you don't have an escape ability. Now there's a Crystal Maiden here. She is very underleveled, but still it's gonna be a little harder to get a kill on the Bloodseeker now. Though the Crystal Maiden, as we see, is moving at a glacial pace. Mirana is gonna end up dying. Actually, there's a ton of kills going down in other lanes. And the Luna getting a ton of farm. So let's just see how things are looking real fast. Net worth 2,000, more than 2,000 gold lead. This is actually more like a 2,500 gold lead for our Radiant guys here. So that's super good, like super good, and a decent XP lead. But that 2,000 gold lead is just so big, and that's all on this Luna actually. But you should definitely pick up an item now. Okay, so you don't want to bank this much because see, the unreliable gold is 2,100. So that means if you die, you're gonna lose a huge chunk of it. When you die, you lose a big chunk of your unreliable gold, and obviously you don't want that. So the arrow there is very late. Crystal Maiden's gonna walk into it and die, or walk into the power shot and die. This Crystal Maiden doesn't know how to play, I'm gonna say it straight up. She should be out in the jungle here looking for a bit of farm. Though, of course, Doom is also taking the jungle. You don't want to stack up your jungle heroes. And yeah, they're just flaming her hard. So I honestly feel a little bad for the CM despite her playing so bad. Here we see one of the problems with having like this kind of odd melee initiator. Almost gonna get nuked down. You see the power of the Skywrath there. He's got his level 6. He's doing pretty well. Go. No, you need to spend a little more, darling. You need to get a little. Okay, she wants to finish up the Ring of Aquila first, but she could actually still get a power threat, so this is a big mistake. You don't want to bank this money. If you see pro players, good players banking money, it's because they want for buyback, and this is way too much right now. Her buyback's like 300 or something, and you don't want to save. You don't want to buy back this early in the game. So she should definitely be spending the rest of her money. They could make a pretty capable push on this if she just had a little bit more damage. So yeah, oh, Skyrev's just gonna go back here and get a kill on the Barathum, so that's pretty good. Well played by him. And she's still way ahead, like she's still twice as many last hits as the Bristleback up here is getting free farm. Bristleback also the weird build. There we go. Blood Rage, giving her a nice 30% damage boost. Really don't want to Blood Rage her. Don't Blood Rage the enemy carry. Don't do it. Like, the silence is not worth it.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Luna, one of the worst targets for Blood Rage ever. Just don't want to give her that bonus damage. She did buy her stuff there. You can buy the power threads out here, so she should definitely have done that. Like these two things, you can get those out the side shop. Now she's gonna get Ruptures. She has spent most of her money. She's still gonna lose like 250 here. Yeah, she lost about 150 gold. And that was just being a little bit too far forward. She did like her items were actually pretty bad, just because she had good items, but they were just in the stash. So yeah, just staying a little bit too far forward there. That's gonna be huge because I think the CM might have gotten 2 levels off of that. So that's really good. Yeah, a CM you don't want to put 2 levels in Frostbite before you take a level in Crystal Nova. You want to go probably something like 1-1-1 or 1-2 and then 1 here. So just a brief note there on CM. And the Luna is just gonna hang out here. There we go. She's gonna come back in now. She's a little bit under leveled actually. She's farmed nicely, but she's a little bit low on level. So that's not so good. And they actually don't have any vision, so their supports are kind of dropping the ball here. If we take a look at the player perspective here and we go to the Luna. Oh, actually, I can't do that right now because when you pause, you get the whole thing. But we have no vision on the map at all. We have these wards, which are very nice for the Dire side, very good for a low level game. This isn't actually low level, but they are actually pretty decent. Like they have vision around, they can see people are missing. But these guys down here, they haven't got much of a chance to know that there's 3 guys converging on them, and they actually in a bit of danger. And you don't want that to happen to your carry. And if they end up dying here, that's not totally their fault. They could still, like with good movement, good being back here, they might have spotted something now. Should absolutely, if you know there's heroes here, you should not go for this right now. Dropping that level 3 Lucent Beam is absolutely fine. You do want to save that 150 mana for when you hit your level 6. Right about now. Okay, you're gonna die. Yeah. The nuke damage is just too much there. And, you know, no miscalls or anything to help out. At least, I don't think so. We don't have the communication. They're gonna get a tier 1 tower off of it. Is that worth it? No, because she's the hard carry. She needs to stay alive. And these guys just aren't making it happen. So, a little bit of divey here. She stunned up the... Good TP in by Nyx there. Good TP in. Gonna make a kill happen. Revenge kill there for those two is very important. And bad call by the Crystal Maiden there, though she would probably have died anyway. Gonna check up on Barathum over here. Also very important to kill this guy, but now we see one of the problems with Barathum. He can't even stop this regen rune from just negating everything he's just done. So that's depressing. But our Luna is still doing fine. Like if we look at the net worth, she should be doing pretty fine. Yeah, looks like Barathum's just getting kills. Yeah, 5 kills. 5 kills is gonna net him a lot of gold. They're also 2 towers ahead, so they're doing very good on the gold right now. And now they shouldn't look to push this. They can't push a tier 2 so soon, even though Luna is pretty good at pushing. You do need to max out that Luna Blessing for it. That makes it a lot easier. But now is now she's got a good enough right click. She can start to kite some camps out here. Jungling does become a bit easier once you get lifesteal. I think going into BKB here is probably going into BKB here is pretty bad. I think that's just too early. The thing with BKB is, oh, actually I can just play it now because it's gonna be a while where we're not doing anything. I think moving mid here is okay. I think probably TPing top would have been the thing. Look at this huge creep wave up here. So let's just talk about this a little bit. There's a huge creep wave here. Someone needs to farm this. That should probably be the hard carry. Someone needs to go up here and grab all of this XP in this farm. This is like 2 creep waves. Almost 2 creep waves. Yeah, pretty much 2 creep waves that needs to be farmed. And you know, you can't really... Okay, maybe they can take the mid tower here, and that would be okay with it, but certainly someone should TP up there. It could be one of these guys, would be nice, but they look very focused on kills, and that's honestly a huge mistake. This should be farmed. They don't care by who, honestly. Probably the Luna though. Not a waste at all using a town portal to get up there. You don't want to be very reactionary as a carry. You want to be very farm oriented as a hard carry. Second thing I want to mention is going BKB before you get your damage up is kind of dangerous. On the one hand, it can save you sometimes, but then you've used your big BKB charges. It starts off with a 10-second duration, then it loses 1 second per activation down to 4, and then it stays on 4. So, okay, the cooldown also decreases with each use, but it does get a lot worse the more you've used it. And you really want those BKB charges to kind of count. So what I think is a lot better on Luna is to get up a Yasha and a Helm of the Dominator first, as a general rule. These 2 items are pretty good. I probably want to turn this off. What this does is it doesn't grant the aura to non-hero units. But yeah, getting a Ring of Aquila and Power Threads first is perfectly reasonable. I think the Magic Wand maybe not so good. It's really good on heroes that have mana problems, but she really doesn't. You really only want to use mana in fights, so you can keep your mana up for that easy. But yeah, that's a minor waste, like 500 gold. She's doing a fine job farming. She is the #1 net worth, so that's pretty good. But still, this BKB, what's gonna happen is it's gonna give you a moderate amount of right click for a lot of gold. It's gonna give you a moderate, like a very, very small amount of tank and small amount of right click. 24 damage is really not a very big augment to her attack right now. When the whole BKB is it costs 4,000 gold. Now with that 4,000 gold, I think it's much better to get, you know, a Helm of the Dominator for 1,800 and then a Yasha first. And then when you have those 2, and then you add a BKB onto that, then you can start to fight. So you get the BKB once you start to go into the fighting mentality, and I think that's early for this. Too early.
Is under attack.
You should still get the BKB just later. Just wanna, be clear about that. I still think, like, versus this Skyraf is just doing a ton of damage. See how is he building? He's building pretty okay. Looks like, I hope this is gonna be like a Eul Septon Divinity will be okay. Usually you go like Rod of Atos because it gives you so much int, and he really wants that int. So she's gonna be pressured back, and this is just wasted time, which is a little bit bad. She's still way ahead on farm though. Though she has died twice actually. That's yeah. Brother Nux doing this is when you hear people talk about creating space, then this is the kind of stuff they mean. And when we talk about creating space, then that space needs to be used, and it needs to be used on something other than going to where they're fighting by the carry. In this case, it's okay. There's a creep wave here to farm up, and you know they can just take
Radiant's middle tower
this tower here mid. So that's okay. But she's here to fight, and that really isn't what they should be looking to do now. They've already won this fight even okay, they are very low, so maybe something. This Doom is just camping in the woods, doesn't care, doesn't give a toss that his team has just been lost the fight right over here. Now the Bloodseeker, this is kind of the unfortunate thing with him. He can just come in here. He's got a huge buff from this. He can just go in and look for a kill. They should stun him up. Oh, missed the next stun, that's huge. Oh, because you really... Okay, he's just gonna get one kill there on a wounded hero and get out, so yeah. And yeah, you know, you could have been farming all this time. You could have just run into the jungle and farmed, and it would have been much better, much better. But yeah, this Skyraf's swiney. Kill stealers, don't concern yourself with kill stealers at this level. Once you hit 4k MMR, you can start to talk about kill stealers. Else, just guarantee the kill. It's much more important that the kill happens than who gets the kill. Because at this level, you're not really capable of identifying when you are enough in control of the situation to absolutely not miss the kill and hold back on your damage so your carry can get the last hit. And most certainly this guy is talking about who should get, not who should get the kill from an efficiency standpoint, but that the kill was his, and therefore it should go to him. Now he's gonna get killed here. Pretty easy. This Wind Ranger, aside from not playing support, is doing a pretty good job. She might have put down these wards, so I don't know. They're calling for a fast finish, even though the game is hardly over at all. Hardly over. At all. The Doom has a Midas at a not horrible timing. There's the Eclipse. That's a pretty decent Eclipse. Should have gone for the Bloodseeker there. They're not gonna get it now. Whoa. No. Gonna try to dodge it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They're just whining their heads off. This Bristleback, very little farm, really needs boots. All melees needs boots so much more than else, because now that everyone else has boots, he just can't close range. Despite he's very cheap and very efficient slow. So they're gonna take this tower here. This is absolutely a fine thing to do as Luna, as any carry really when it's this low. But she's so good at forcing towers down because she gives that much damage to everyone. Taking Glaives before maxing Lunar Blazing is a mistake. Should definitely take the Lunar Blazing. So if this Skywrath doesn't know he's been going on now, he's clueless. But yeah, this is gonna be pretty good. Pretty good. Good movement there from Baratheon. That's kind of the only thing you can do with him. He's gonna have his orange up in 2 seconds. That's gonna be a kill. Oh. Yep. So he's doing a good job.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Our Luna still doing a pretty good job farming. Let's take a look at how she's doing comparably. Still way ahead. This Bristleback is honestly doing really good for a Bristleback, but still way ahead. 15 minutes, 60 last hits. That's okay. She's also got a kill. She's died twice, which is kind of what's marring her this game. And yeah, you shouldn't just stand here and tank. Drag them out, make them run back and forth. Because now you could have just walked up and take this camp. Certainly when this tower is still alive, when you have a hero running around right here, it's safe enough to take this camp. You also have a ward right here protecting you, then you can be, you know, just a little run. So just juke back, make them run between you, make sure they don't just stand and hit you all the time. Yeah. That's really what you want to do. She's got so much armor actually, she's all the way up to 11 armor, that's a lot. Doom notoriously has almost no armor, he's only at 1, so he takes almost all the physical damage as advertised.
Perfect.
Good arrow. They should be able to get a kill off this. Yeah, that's a kill. Most certainly. Okay, Baratheon just gonna come in and... silence doesn't affect Dagon, so... Okay, this is gonna turn into a pretty good fight for the opponents. And Luna coming in here, this is a bit of a bet from the Luna that things are gonna turn out alright. Okay, they do get the bristle back. So she did manage to get something done here, but they shouldn't pursue here. Like, the Lunas... When something like this happens, when a fight like this happens, just go farm. Like, okay, all the lanes are pushed to the opponent's side, so that's a bit of a good argument for going here and fighting. But in general, like, you don't want that to happen. Okay, that was good. She just got 3 kills, so this panned out, this worked out. But in general, you know, think carefully if you want to engage here. It's a big decision. Yeah, more smack talk going down, so never like to see that. That's the yeah, that's a good exhibition. That's a good example of a situation where Rupture really shows its weakness. When he can't commit to the kill, then it's just so bad. It's like really bad. Yeah, another silence. Really doesn't do a lot, except, you know, strengthen last hit. Robin decides to bail on their hard carry. So thanks, man. That was really bad, like super bad. Oh, there's an arrow. What the fuck? That arrow missed. That is super strange. But thanks for the bonus damage, Bloodseeker. That made her more than capable of just bursting her down. They're gonna get the Bloodseeker as well. Okay, I'm gonna spoil something now and say that they're actually gonna lose this game. Radiant is actually gonna lose this game, and I'm actually sitting here thinking how, because even all the bad arrows and bad item choices in the world, or inoptimal, not bad, but inoptimal item choices in the world, doesn't look like it's gonna be enough right now. This Baratheon is just fearless, gonna jump right down under the tower. Good play from the Mana until now, then it turns into bad play. And that's just a bad coordination. And now, you know, this Luna should have TP'd 20 seconds ago. She's so close to her BKB. When you're this close to an item, just TP out, go to the jungle, finish it up. And you know, the only thing this BKB is gonna allow you to do is go into fights and do the same thing. You're gonna have about the same efficiency in fights, you're just gonna tank a little bit better. It's just a tank item. So, what you're doing here is you're prioritizing your tank or your damage, and, you know, that's almost never a good thing to do as a carry. What you want to do is prioritize your damage over your tank, because the damage allows you to farm better. And you want to farm, and because when you farm better, then you can farm up your tank faster. Make sense? Yeah. So, anyway, she's pretty close to her BKB, and, you know, by this point, you should definitely just finish it. No, you know, juking around, no going into an Aghanim's or anything silly like that. Never build Aghanims on her. And yeah, don't max out Moonglaive before Lunar Blessing. You want this Lunar Blessing up to level 4. It's just so strong. You want that right-click damage for the farming. Baratham, as newbies love, he gets the Morbid Mask, even though he's actually gotten an armlet, which is really good. So, Morbid Mask now is actually decent on him. Though I think just going for more damage on him is pretty optimal. Pretty much what you want to do. Doom gonna be going on Doom a little bit far out. This is why he's so strong in low level games, Baratham. It's because you just get caught out so easily. Now that Crystal Maiden is caught out, Luna can just run her down. That's gonna... Okay. Is she gonna die here? Yeah, she's gonna die.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh, nice juking, nice movement there. It's gonna be enough. Nope. Not gonna be enough. And Baratham's showing his kind of useless side here. He's gonna pick up a double damage, which is gonna do nothing for him. If he'd used the urn on the Luna there, if he'd used the urn on the Luna, he could have saved her. And he just didn't. And now they wipe out 4 here, so they're suddenly looking much better. And it was just a bit of over-engagement there. And we saw, like, Luna didn't actually... She didn't have a BKB yet, so she couldn't pop it. But even if she had the BKB there, it would have made it a lot more... a lot of difference. Like, she could have gone out there, but she would have spent her 10-second BKB charge on trying to kill a Crystal Maiden. Which is not worth it, like... And that's one of the reasons why Baratham is kind of shitty backup. So a little bit of an overdive, not totally unreasonable. Pretty decent play, I think. But still, you know... Yeah, not super good. So now, if your TP was up, you could just TP out here. That would be reasonable. It wouldn't be the best move ever, but just TPing in here, making your... Just TP in here, BKB up, and Eclipse would have been decent. Just have your team just come in, lay down the stuns, and you could have wiped these guys out pretty easy. There we see one of the reasons why Baratham is not so good. He can interrupt his abilities really easily. He's just gonna get focused down. They did manage to get the Doom, which is really important. And now the rest of the main here. They choose not to pursue. They should have pursued there. Should have definitely pursued. Did the arrow get used? Yeah, okay, the arrow was used. Else, you know, just plunge an arrow in, make sure it's slightly off to the side so it doesn't hit the creeps, and then just pursue there. Definitely pursue. I like this TP, a lot. It's free farm down here bottom, this push straight around into the tower, so that's something she should look to do. Definitely. So the one thing I'm really concerned about is Luna. She's very low leveled. She's level 11 and about the highest is level 13, so... These guys have got her on the levels, though she has the net worth. And the issue is that she's not spending this net worth super well. Like, she has a good right click, but not a great right click. If this had gone into a Helmet of the Dominator Yasha, she would be at a lot more damage. Look at that damage! She's up at 250 damage now from this Blood Rage, level 3 Blood Rage. This guy's just using it super wrong. Like, that was just an invitation to just turn around, look at him, and then just hit him. He's got 1400 HP, you could get him down in... Okay, he's got 50% damage reduction, so... Still, you could get him down in like 10 last hits. Just right-click him until the silence, until the buff goes off, and then just use Eclipse. Here we got a pause. And... what? Pause by Mirana? That's very odd. And she's gonna die. Okay, and Crystal Maiden, she's gonna get called out here. She's gonna die. The unhelped there, the bad silence there from Bloodseeker again. Just go in. Use that nasty right click. Holy Jesus, that's a lot of damage. Still it isn't maxing this out, it's really hurting me. You should have maxed this out so much earlier. Right. Oh, the Nyx. Too far forward, too far forward. Do not go on this. Go back. And yeah, she's going to go into a Helm of the Dominator now. So what's happened here is she's gone for mediocre damage items into tank items into lifesteal, which is kind of bad. You want the damage before the lifesteal. Now she can go in. Now she can go in with Eclipse here. Right here would be good. Yeah, go in with Eclipse. In with Eclipse. Now. Eclipse, Eclipse. Yeah, that's good. And the Lucid Beam. Yeah, just slow him down a little bit. Rafa not seeing it. He's gonna kill himself here with the Rupture, I think. He's actually just gonna ignore it, and this is gonna turn it into a bit of a precarious situation, I think. What's the Starfall? There's the Starfall. So finally managed to kill the Bristleback. Crystal gonna... Okay, there's the Skywrath as well. This is gonna turn out majorly. They overdive there. That's one of the dangers of chasing Bristleback or any other major tank. Is that just hurts so much. Skywrath's got a lot of oomph now. He's actually got a Bloodstone. That's... No. That's really bad. Don't get a Bloodstone on this guy, because it doesn't have any int. And this thing, Arcane Bolt, does damage based on how much int you have. So you want a big int. Yeah. But just a bit of overdive there. And what we're seeing here is a bit too much willingness to fight here from this Luna. She can fight, but only if the situation is way to your advantage. Just go in and take the good fights. And when you can't take a good fight, just don't take a fight and go farm. That's what's really going wrong here, is that look at the KDA. Luna is way down here. She's died 4 times, which is really bad. That's the hero. The hero here would really need to live on this team, and she's died a bunch of times. Actually, they've all died a bunch of times. There's just such an action-packed games, which is really not what you want for a hard carry. The Doom here is staying out of... Okay, he's just dying a lot, but he's staying out of farms a little more. And he's looking like he's just gonna go directly into an Assault Couriers, which is super weird. Super weird. Not sure about that at all. Regardless, back to our Luna. She went down to bottle now. She's filling up her Helm of the Dominator, though her lead here in farm is starting to
Dire's bottom tower
drain a
is
lot.
under
She's dying
attack.
too much. She's spending too much time farming. But now she's got max glaives, she's got lifesteal, she can jungle effortlessly. Now you don't need to kite at all, because you can just stay maxed here. The extra armor, even just making it really nice and easy to get this stuff done. Still has a 9-second BKB. Yeah. Also, with BKB you need to mind if you have it up, especially when Skywrath is out. He's a major nuker. You really need BKB to fight him as well, because all the armor, all the... like these agility carries really need BKB, because else they just get burst down by nuke. At least, you know, some you can just kind of rely on mobility, but it's just super hard. Now they're kind of 5-manning here again, and Luna should be down here farming this wave that's just coming in. Super attractive doing that. Instead they're just fighting here. Bloodseeker just gonna get run down here. They should... Oh, this Bristleback. It's kind of bad. Yeah, Barathum, tunnel visioning, gonna die. Eclipse going on a Bristleback. Not super good. This is just a bad fight, looking like a bad fight. Impale whiffs. They kill off the Crystal Maiden finally. Get a kill. There goes the Bloodseeker. They managed to get the Bristleback, but the big damage dealer was the last one to get focused here. And he's gonna manage to get a double kill there, unnecessarily. And if Doom had been there, he could have made a big difference. This Wind Ranger is farming so heavily. Looks like she's gonna build an Orchid, which is not the worst thing in the world. Certainly not when there's a Skywrath. The other team really could use that the silence. Though, of course, not seeing super much with regard to support items. Really good to have a mech on the team when you have a Luna, just because supporting her is super important. Would like to see a blink on this Nyx. Always, you know, AoE stun, get a blink. Get a blink.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she's gonna go next, but I already know it's gonna be a Satanic, and that's a bad choice. I'll get into that once we get a fight with the Satanic here. Nice little setup there. Should have triggered the BKB. Oh, it was on cooldown. Then shouldn't have been that far forward when the BKB was on cooldown. So yeah, pushing, not so hot. as the Luna here. Should have probably been happy about just farming. They're actually just gonna get caught out here. Die super easily. Skyra's playing decently. Doom is actually, when he's not dying incessantly, he's playing decently as well. He's almost up to that Assault Couriers, which is gonna be pretty huge for his team. A lot of right click damage, much more right click than Nuke coming out here, even though Nuke's with the Dagon is making it more skewed like that. Yes, Baratheon was way too far forward. Can't be solo up here, certainly not as in a hero with his weekend escape as Baratheon. Like, you might think, oh, he's got the Charge of Darkness, but if he just gets stunned up, or if they just wait for him to charge out and the Crystal Maiden just puts down the Frostbite, then that actually doesn't really matter. Also, just one note, real quick, we're gonna take a look at the scoreboard here and see that the majority of the deaths, or the one with the most deaths on this team, is the lowest priority hero, which is really good, and the one with the most deaths, but they have really even deaths over here. The one with the least deaths is Luna, but she has died 5 times, which is a lot. So she's died more than she really needed to, which is hampering a lot. She is ahead, just not very much, just only 1,000 or so, and I think the suboptimal item choices are really gonna make the difference here when you're not more ahead than this. So they're gonna spot her here. Nope. Oh, that's not her. That's Mirana. They remind me so much of each other. Skyraf doing so much work. Okay, so when you're silenced, you can still use a BKB. When you get when you get cornered by Skyraf, you use your BKB. You need to not die. That's what you need to do. And luckily, this is almost enough gold for your Yasha, so obviously go for that. Now the Bloodseeker's looking for the Luna here.
Shadows take us.
There's the invis, but you can still see it. There we go. So when there's a Bloodseeker on the map, just TP home. Can, but yeah. Don't push far forward alone. Like, she was just out of position there, she's gonna die yet again. And this is pushing down her net worth. Like, you see, she dropped 400 there, she lost 400 of her unreliable gold. It's gonna put her even further away from a Satanic, which is even more lifesteal before damage, which is bad. Like, you want your right click way higher than this. Satanic's a good late game item, but it should be like a third major item or so, I think. Certainly Manta Style, so good on her, should definitely get a Manta Style. You can purge a lot of stuff. Like, you can purge the Silence and Slow from Skyraft, you can purge the Slow from Bristleback. I think you can purge Frostbite from Crystal Maiden, so a lot of stuff you can purge this game with Manta, so definitely a Manta game. It also ups your armor, it also ups your damage considerably. Both through the illusions, both through a lot of extra agility. Now Luna should definitely, this is a point where they're so grouped up and this is such an important fight. Luna should look to join this with a TP. Should TP it right away. Instead they're gonna trade Crystal Maiden for Nux. Fairly even I think. There's a point blank arrow there. But you know, trying to go on this Bristleback is just not very ideal. He's so tanky. Turning around here is pretty good. Though, okay, they're gonna get the Doom. Yeah, that's the Doom. But now we see, her right clicks are kinda lackluster, they're just not killing anything very fast. And that's really what she needs to do. Luckily, she is a pretty good nuker and she's gonna get done. Skyraf making some use out of his Bloodstone and actually suiciding with it, so that's good, but not. A bit of creative smack talk. At least that's some endearing smack talk. I think that's better than at least some dumb smack talk. But maybe it's just humor. And it was okay funny, I guess. But yeah, just get that Yasha. It'd be so good. Even the extra movement speed is good for closing range and getting away and all kinds of good stuff. Of course, since your primary attribute is agility, you don't get anything from the strength from the Satanic, so Satanic does absolutely nothing for your damage output. Unless you're a strength hero, then it's fantastic. Actually, as a strength hero, it's kind of lackluster. It's the same as BKB, it's just like, I think it's like 35 damage or so. So, not super important, but yeah. Skyraf's on the lookout here. They've got offensive wards. They know the Luna's down here. Luna's gonna go down here. I hope, really hope, She doesn't. Okay, she's gonna hide. This is smart. This is smart. Nyx is gonna run into Mod here, and they should look to probably fight out here, I'd say. So yeah, that's kind of running into this fight. Like, it took her 4 right clicks to take down the Skywrath there. She is just not right clicking hard enough. That's the thing here. This Manta style is 5,000. She almost had Manta style gold, and she chose to finish up. And it's the same thing to get the Manta style expense wise as it is to get the rest of the Satanic. Don't chase here. Please do not chase. You can't. These two are too tanky. Can't chase. It's so hard to chase Bristleback, especially when he has decent farm like here. He's got some really good tank items here. So that's just super hard. I should just TP out now actually. This Skywrath is out now. This is gonna be bad. Yeah, you're just about half health as well, so. Oh, she's actually gonna go top. She does have lifelink, so lifesteal, lifelinks from magic, huh? Yeah, there we go. That's the Satanic. This is bad. This is really bad. She's got a decent right click, but Satanic. Lifesteal is percentage. So the more damage you have, the better lifesteal becomes, and you really want better right click than this. Like, she hasn't gotten a major right click item yet, and she's got 2 really good right click abilities. So she's definitely a right click hero. Like, you definitely want that. And this is just gonna give her 20 damage. Okay, it's actually 45 damage for Strength Heroes, but it's only 20 damage for her. Her right click's decent, like it's 210. That's decent, but it should be much higher. Okay, let me just do a comparison here. So if it was Manta style, she would be getting 26 agility, and that gives her 26 attack right there. But the real kicker is she gets attack speed, she gets 2 illusions, she gets the ability to break off a lot of spells, and dodge spells even once you're activated. Because in that little, like, when you shimmer and when you just activated Manta style, you can actually dodge spells. You aren't actually targetable right in that moment. So if the stun hits you, if like one of Skywrath's spells hit you, if Doom, no, nothing of Dooms, but if if one of Skywrath's spells tries to hit you there, aside from the silence, then or you can actually purge the silence as well. So there's the purge effect, and there's the ability to dodge if you time it very carefully. And you also get like 2 illusions that dodge 33% of your damage. You also get attack speed. You also get movement speed. So it's just such a good item. Also, agility does more for you also because it gives you attack speed. It gives you 1 attack speed per. So actually, not 15 attack speed. It is. Oh, it's 26 agility. That's super random. But yeah, it's actually. Well, it's because it's 16 from the Yasha, of course. Yeah, but it's 16 plus or 15 plus 26. So that is 41. Yes, 41. 41 attack speed, which is a lot. Like, if we take a look at the Doom, he has the hyper. He's dead. No, he's not dead. He's there. So this is 55 attack speed. And this is a major attack speed item. So the Manta style actually gives you almost as much attack speed. So it augments your right click in a major way, and you really want that. And comparison to that, the Satanic is just weak source. So should definitely get that. Definitely.
Double damage.
Just taking a bit of the extra info here. Going mid here, preparing this push is okay. Should probably go jungle. But everyone wants to jungle right now. The Dolphins down here farming up God knows what. Mask of Madness is okay on him. BKB is okay on him. So he's building his items decently. I think he's overcommitting a lot, but he's building his items decently. Yeah, that's, it's a lot easier to build your items well on just a straight up gank or something. But then actually making the right choices here. Let's actually see what the Mirana's getting right now. She's getting... Okay, this is weird, but this is decent. Like, I would probably more like... In this game, certainly when there's a Doom here, no brainer, get a Lincoln Sphere. Definitely get a Lincoln Sphere on Mirana. She's really good with it anyway. Mjolnir is decent, and the Fusel Blade is also decent. She's got... Let's just slow this way down, and we can see her attack speed is 294 or 0.58 second per attack, or 0.58, yeah, something like that. And we need this again. This is 230, so she's just in attack speed. She has only like 2/3 the damage, I think. Yeah, it takes her 0.75 or 74 seconds to attack. It takes her 0.58, so you know, about 20 seconds, just short of 10 seconds faster, 0.20 second faster attacks from the Mirana, which really adds up, and that's one of the things you're really missing, and which that Manta style will really give. And just those illusions give you, you know, those do another 66% of your damage, and they get the glaive attack, which is super good. They've stacked the Ancients. She's really good at doing Ancients. Anyone that has a physical damage ability, like the Moon Glaives here, anything that automates your attack, are really good at taking the Ancients. Bristleback also really good at it, can just turn his back, spam those krills, and get those krill triggers from the Ancients, so that's really good. They're gonna take the Roshan here. They have a ward here. They might have spotted them going in here. The Nyx should take it, but I don't think it looks like they have an inkling about it. They are converging on it now. How fast will it go down? It's almost down, in fact. They look like they're gonna take it really fast.
Roshan has fallen to the dire.
They could engage here. Or if that arrow had hit the Skywrath. If they can burst down the Skywrath, that's a lot of the damage. A lot of the worry here. They can definitely get a free kill here on the Crystal Maiden, but they need to leave right away.
Think of it as a new. That's not
So good kills up here. All in all, a pretty good fight. But now Luna's gonna go down. Don't, you know, generally you don't want to take a fight. This went way better than it should. So let's just go back a little bit, because this was a major turning point. What happened here was, okay, I went too far back again. I do this all the time. Is this better? Yeah, this is better. They're doing this. There we go. So, arrow misses. They come in here. They all get up here. What needs to happen right now is a stun needs to go in on this guy right now. They can focus him down. He's a major damage dealer. Then they're good. This guy needs to die fast. His right click is scary. This ability now does 120. Every 2 seconds he can use a spell that does 120 plus 1.6 times his int. And his int is almost 100. It's 140. So 140 times 1.6 is, this is about 350 damage single target nuke he can send out every 2 seconds. He also has this thing that does a ridiculous amount of damage. It does 1400 damage accumulated over 2 seconds, and it has the silence. He has this thing. So you really need to kill this guy first. He's the damage dealer here. Don't focus the Bristleback. Don't focus the Doom. Kill the Crystal Maiden fast if you can, but you need to kill this guy and the Bloodseeker. The Bloodseeker also has a nice, nasty right click now. So really want to focus down the Bloodseeker, because he's gonna get healed up by every kill that goes down on your side. So let's take a look in slow-mo at how this battle unfolds. We can see where it went wrong. So first of all, it went wrong by the fact that you go in on some guys that have just taken Roshan, just gotten the Aegis. So they should have just waited. Okay, she puts down a sentry, which kind of sets it all off. And you know, attacking up this thing is always bad. The Nyx whips his stun. The Luna goes in here and gets a kill on nothing. Like, so Luna's kind of isolated up here. They managed to focus down the Skywrath and the Doom. But now, you know, Bloodseeker's here. Bloodseeker's still doing fine. It's not dead yet, not dead yet. They almost have it. And then Luna dies, Bloodseeker's back up to half health. Nyx dies, Bloodseeker gets yet more life. Defendant finally managed to take down Bloodseeker, but now there's no one to take this 2200 health Skywrath. And yeah, they're just gonna lose a lot of players, a lot of heroes because of it. Don't take fights up this place, generally. Once they have the Roshan, it's probably a good idea to black out, unless they pursue you down here and you can get them while they're going up. But, you know, fighting up the hill like this, fighting 5-man versus 5-man is not what you want to do here in this lineup. Mirana is just dead lady at this point. Also seeing one of the bad points about this, like you do get 175% lifesteal, But this lifesteal, the 175% lifesteal, it's better if you do a lot of damage. You really, 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 really need a lot of damage. Yeah, the ult has a lot of, not a lot of cooldown, but it has a 400 or 800 mana cost. 800 mana cost is that's the limiting factor on this thing. Okay, if you get an Aghanims, it actually doesn't have a cooldown. So yeah, shouldn't get Dagon on this guy. He's got plenty of nuke. You just need more mana. Need more int, not Dagon. Yeah, he's pointing out the same thing. 0 sec cooldown. But, you know, okay, he has got a stupid mana pool actually. He does have a lot here. He has this Bloodstone and the Rod of Atos. Just giving him a lot. So, decent build from him. Tons of downtime actually. Are we still at 0.5? Yeah, okay, so that's kind of wise. So we're just gonna go forward until our Luna's up. We're gonna see what she's gonna do. And I'm gonna take something to drink here, because my throat's starting to hurt a little bit. So, since the Satanic, no item progression. Really should get that Yasha up. It's only 500.
Tower is under attack.
She could have maybe even bought it before she died there. Or she did get a few kills, I suppose, so... Yeah, but she farms so fast now. This is actually a bit of a precarious position right now, because there's no wards here. They could be running down here to gank her right now. And she's gonna turn around right now. So by the Yasha, it's about 2,000 gold. I'm right, ain't I? Ain't I right? Yeah, 2,000, 7,050. So, definitely should get the Yasha. Probably sell the magic wands. Not gonna do a ton for you. These aren't that really many. Okay, there's 2 really spammy heroes in the other team actually, so... The Skywrath and Bristles do a lot of spells, so the magic wand actually doing a lot, but... Not as good as the Yasha. Yeah, and the Course on the other team is kinda come online now. Bristleback's doing the work. What the... Okay, that's probably a Shiva's Guard. I hope it's a Shiva's Guard. Yeah, they've got some decent items.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
This Orchid is kinda not doing enough. Though it's a sensible item, it's just kinda... The damage isn't there. Mjolnir is more of a pushy item than anything, and this Nyx just wants to kill the Crystal Maiden, which should not be a priority. This Eclipse is just doing so much work. Very good, very nice.
Radiant's middle
And yeah,
tower is under attack.
So what should have happened there? She should have had Manta Style, and she could just activate that and do even more damage. And then Satanic, and then, you know, been fine.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
My dreams.
So they're gonna get the Skywrath. That's a huge kill. That's 1,100 gold, 1,200 gold just going the way of them there. Baratham just gonna storm after them so fast. 503. Just gonna run down a Bristleback, who's not slow by any means. But then again, his cooldowns are kind of brutal here. Yeah, Luna just gonna push in now. They could use this to try and take the tower here. Luna can just go forward actually. Yeah, there was a Shivas. That's actually pretty smart. Okay, Luna overstaying her welcome here. BKB, good BKB. For once saving herself with it. Nice movement there from Baratham. Good armlet toggle. Get a little more HP. Good losing beam. They're doing this pretty textbook. Oh, the nuke from Skywrath. Just too much nuke. That silence could have gone down. Yes, it wasn't cooldown. Might have been used to something stupid. And now they're just gonna turn it on again.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And now she's out of... She doesn't have money enough for the Yasha again. And that's just a problem. Yeah, Skywrath is a decent carry. I don't know what he's talking about. Oh, he's going into the Ghost Blade? Ghost... Ethereal Blade. Go Ethereal Blade. It's Ghost Scepter into Ethereal Blade. And he's doing kind of he's presenting his morphling, so he's using the Ethereal Blade to get the 40% less magical resist on someone. Probably gonna use it on the Luna or protagonist, if you will, and just say, I'm gonna nuke you down now. Looks like we are entering the later stages of this game.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So a little bit of a skirmish going on there, but I'm not interested in this one. I see what this Luna chooses to do.
Radiant's
She's not
bottom
up yet.
tower
Okay.
is under
Or
attack.
someone else. Whatever, we don't care. Only care about the Luna.
Shadows
The only girl in my
take
life,
us.
Luna. She's gonna go for a butterfly, also a decent choice, but I think the Manta style, certainly when there's this many effects you can purge, it's a much better option, The BKB is down to 4 seconds now, so that's also something to
Radiant's
consider.
middle
That's kind of what
barracks are under
happens
attack.
if you go BKB first, is you're pressured into using it all the time, and when you're actually fully online, then your BKB is so low that, you know, you can't actually do enough in the fights. So if you had gone for Butterfly, or even better, Manta style, before the Satanic and before the Black King Bar, then you could have... then by now you would have had, you know... You could have had Manta style, Satanic, and an 8-second Black King Bar or something. Though I don't know, her item progression has been pretty lackluster. She's fallen a lot in net worth. Skywrath just killing it net worth wise. He's got a lot actually, yeah. The Stay Gun is the only thing I don't like in his inventory. I like the Rod of Atos a lot. I would like to see a Sheep Stick instead of this Bloodstone. I think that's all around better for him. Also better for ganking than a Bloodstone. He does have a lot of mana. He has such a good mana pool. Yeah, he's going for the Evil Blade. He's gonna do that... Oh, it actually takes 2 times your primary attribute, so that's actually like a 400 damage nuke in itself. Then it lowers. Yeah, okay, so that's what he's gonna do with it. That's pretty good. Yeah, he's just going around killing people with it now. He also gets 40 agility from it, so he actually has 12 base armor now, which is pretty good. It's not like insane, but it's pretty good.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's almost as much as the Luna.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Go there's the BKB, good Eclipse. All things considered. She's gonna just get pentagrammed up though, that's gonna...
Leap to it.
They are gonna get down the Doom. This Bristleback just gathering up all the attention, he's playing pretty well. Yeah. This Nyx man, I'm not a fan of it, Stake at 5 is just not worth it. Basically what the Nyx has done is just target down the Crystal Maiden all the time. It's not worth it,
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Unstoppable.
Yeah. So this is probably
Radiant's
GG.
bottom barracks are under attack. Radiant's
So,
bottom barracks
What's our
has fallen.
takeaway here? Well, takeaway is get your
Radiant's
damage
bottom
before your
barracks has
lifesteal.
fallen.
Certainly get damage before Satanic. Are you kidding me? Talked about this in the Troll Warlord video as well. Satanic is really good
Radiant's
after your
top
damage,
tower has fallen.
even if you are strength. Usually you want like a good damage item first. Usually you do what your Barathum here has done and get the armlet before your lifelink.
Radiant
The armlet
structures are fortified.
gives you a lot of damage. That's kind of
Radiant's
the...
middle
You can
barracks
think of
are
it as
under
kind of
attack.
the strength equivalent to
Radiant's
the
middle
Manta style.
barracks has
It's
fallen.
really good. Like, but you know, get the Manta style, try it out. It's
Radiant's
really,
middle
really, really good. It's also
barracks
good
has
for
fallen.
pushing. Those the illusions also get your glaive attack, so they do a lot of damage, especially to buildings. Not especially to buildings, but you can just push down so much when you get those. It's also good just to do tricks, you know. You can just activate your Manta style, send an illusion after them, and it's pretty good. Butterfly is better if you have something you need to dodge, if there's some right click you need to dodge, and by all means there are some scary right clicks, but really it's this nuke here you're afraid of. And then, you know, the Manta style will do slightly more to help that. They do have the damage to take him down. But it's all but over now. Losing 2 sets of racks like this, when the opponents have lost Nongness, is so hard to recover from, and yeah, if we see the net worth, it's just, yeah, all the other team. Started out so well for Oluna. She's got a good amount of last hits. 240 for this point in the game is not embarrassing. It's not fantastic by any means, but I mean she has died 10 times, and with that in mind, then this is actually pretty good. It's just been, you know, fighting too much and not buying the items in the right order, getting that Satanic way too early, getting the Black King bar too early. Over the damage is it's not super good. Because another thing is, you know, you might want to get the Black King bar when there's less control on your team, but when there's this much control, when you have the shackle shot, you have the arrow, you have the invis, you've got the impale, you've got the charge of darkness and the nether strike, and the bash from Spirit Breaker, then you know maybe you don't need to stay alive. Maybe you just rely on those stuns to buy you the time to get the damage. And maybe you're thinking here, oh, but I can't rely on my teammates. Well, tough luck. This is a team game. You need to be able to rely on your teammates to do something, or you're just gonna, you know, lose the game because you can't carry an entire team. You are not that good. I don't care if you're Dendi. And you aren't Dendi. I don't think anyone who's as good as Dendi is probably watching my videos. So. And I don't think I have anything to teach them, so yeah. Just gonna get nuked down now. Super ton of nukes here.
Top barracks has fallen. Radiant's top barracks has fallen. The Dire now have mega creeps.
So yeah, some overcommits, some bad fights, bad item order, and slightly inoptimal, you know, scaling order. That's another thing. Like not getting the Lunar Blessing up early, I think was a big mistake. You like prioritizing the Moonglaive over the Lunar Blessing was not so good. That would have been like you're giving yourself more right click damage. You're also giving your entire team in 5v5 fights. So that's also huge. Getting that up early would have helped you in those early fights. But yeah, I think we've gone over it now. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to get your replay review, you can send it into AcademyOfTheAncients@gmail.com. My name has been Cerublum, this has been Academy of the Ancients, and of course, please, 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 only send me losses or close wins. A close win I will define as if you have a negative KD ratio, if you died more than you killed, that's a good indication that that's a replay you should be sending in. Else, you know, don't send it in. If you didn't die, I will not review it. I've had a lot of people send me in replays where they went like 4-0. I'm not going to review that. That's going to be a very good game on your side. I can see the logic that you're thinking, oh, this was my best game. If I have a review on best game, I can know what I'm probably doing wrong every game that I need to work on. But they're really hard to make feedback on. Probably, you know, when your opponents are in a very bad spot, it's very tough to see to illustrate when you are making kind of bad calls. And you know, yeah, just send in games, send in losses, send in games where you won, where you had a bad KD. And I can kind of explain what's making you win anyway. Yeah, I think that's about it. I also do coaching. If you feel like maybe you'd like some coaching, just send in an email to the same address. It's going to be in the description of the video as well. And we can just work something out. And that'll be it for this time. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye.